Waiting on YouTube, guys. Sometimes it just does not want to wake up. It's actually quite reliable, Jeffrey, but welcome. Here we go. All right, let's get moving here. We're up and running there. So everything looked wonderful Friday, and it doesn't look so wonderful here this morning on a short-term basis anyway. Markets have been in a trading range for a month here pretty much. So I guess it shouldn't be totally unexpected, but bulls were in total control on Friday. Shallow retracements, little to no pullbacks, whatever the little pullback there was, intraday got, or later in the day got bought. And so today, it doesn't look so bad on the futures here, just kind of an inside day. But as we look at the day chart, as I call it, 9:30 to 4 o'clock, the S&P is opening down at or below Friday's low. And so again, let's just go to the spiders here. And so that's the blue line right there is Friday's low. And you can see they just poked underneath them a little while ago and just popped right back up again a little bit, nothing of significance. So these charts are set up here this morning, I think, for choppy price action today. Supposedly markets are down from what I read. New concerns about coronavirus, whatever, second wave. It's just kind of crazy. This whole news-driven market really is crazy. And if you look at the chart here with these gaps day to day and narrow bodies and tails, it just is a picture of uncertainty and I guess craziness in a sense day to day, where even though these little bodies, you have overall in advance that has, gone sideways over the last several weeks and now in a defined trading range, but with Friday gap up, holding the gap, moving up intraday and now the gap down. I'll just use the word unsettling to some extent, but looking at the higher time frame, the weekly, it's just gone sideways here. So the significant lines in the sand at this point are last week's high and low. And so other than that, I guess other than intraday, we'll just have to consider what's going on as noise within this sideways range. So starting off the day, as I said, a gap down below a gap up and rally day, which doesn't look like much, but in intraday it was. And looking at the futures, which you go back to, um, you can see which started out the prior day, the rally and little bullish consolidation, bottoming tail bar, another, rally, and now giving it all back, 100% retracement of this prior move anyway. And so the prior low on the futures here, the blue line, and then this line, this is where, if there is going to be a next move to the downside, prices really should hold based on the overall uptrend here. And if they don't, the chart takes on a somewhat more bearish picture. But ultimately, down below last week's low is where this move up, we're getting confirmation that it's over versus a bullish sideways consolidation with the potential to push higher, which kind of looked like that was the case that could happen today, but it hasn't followed through. So, again, we'll just see what the day brings us here. But starting off here with a bearish gap down, but the next support levels aren't far away. And that's why I say, my expectation is for choppy price action, which, could lead to reliable credit spreads in the SPX, which we like 3 days a week primarily, looking for them to hold. So above Friday's high, theoretically, right? That's all we look at as charts. The theoretical, the odds are that selling a bear call spread above Friday's high should be a no-brainer if there's premium there. And I would say, this low right here, right below 28.80, somewhere down here, 28.60, ideally if there was premium staying far enough away for a little blip under the low. So 28.70, 28.60. And so going back here, it's unfortunate that this doesn't update pre-market, but, down below Friday's low, go back to SPX down here. So below 28.80, I mean, the prior day's low, Thursday's low could get violated. So we want to get away from that a bit to say, expectation that today prices would hold, give or take, around this area here for a bull put spread down below here. So we'll see how the day unfolds. NQs, right, having shown relative strength, actually cleared the prior high, and now the same retracement level. But we got a big green bar on last week, which totally obliterated that topping tail bar, which strongly suggested it was going to go down. A topping tail bar that takes out a prior bar, in this case 2 bars highs, and results, that was a green bar turning into a topping tail bar. Historically, that's a pretty reliable pattern that it was going to go down. And it didn't. So that's bullish, but trading sideways and, starting off the week, as short-term ugly this is to start off from a move up. And it makes more sense that the NASDAQ is having this selling because it started the move down here, took out the high, a greater than 100% retracement. Our expectation is for a stall in momentum. And in reality, that's all we're getting so far is a stall in the upward momentum, to put in perspective. So as short-term traders, what happens over the course of 15 minutes, an hour and a half can be significant, but you got to put it in the context of a bigger time frame. Otherwise, you get caught up in, little minor moves and thinking something significant's happening. And so while we can say, yes, that's significant on a 5-minute chart, well, what we're starting off here is not really a big deal, especially from the weekly time frame. Anyway, we'll see where that goes. Again, looking at the prior day's low as support, the Qs stopped their decline right there. And that looks like a bad tick. So gapping down to a prior day's low after several days up is not a good way for bulls to start the week. And we'll just have to see if that feeds on itself or whether, buyers want to step up here and start a sideways move, or whether, the next level gets taken out. But in any event, gapping down here and support levels relatively close at hand suggests choppy price action for today. And then we'll just see whether this holds or not. But now this high makes sense to be looking at that as a significant resistance area for today anyway. And we got plenty of little support areas since the prior week was move up, back, move up, back, stall, chop. So lots of little support areas. We don't have a tradable void going into today. So, we take that bias into the day where keep our expectations in check here. Now, if this turns into a range and we get some choppy price action today, and that then results in a move down tomorrow, well, now while you've got this move up, this movement over time is what begins to create a void that could result in a move down. Remember, wide range bars are momentum moves in a smaller time frame. So while we've got these little pockets to deal with this week, if this does result in a move lower, the expectation here, that kind of buying, that big green bar says, hey, look for this thing to go up to the high. And if that doesn't follow through, that's going to bring in supply into this market, and buyers are going to be like, what the hell is going on here? But it's kind of the environment that we have. But as we say, that charts are a representation of beliefs created with money. And those beliefs last week said, think long. Well, maybe it follows through and we get more chop. But we're dealing with a market that is just displaying uncertainty at the moment. So Russell coming down to the low, trading within the range, and going to the ETF, right? Just gapping down toward the low. And so a gap up, again, another rally day. There was room for it to go higher, and disappointment. So, moving down just above that prior high there, and not a good way to start the week. Saying the same, but it is what it is. So we'll just have to see how far it goes. And the same story, lots of little congestion areas around. So, expectation, no matter where we look, is for choppy price action for today. Clint has got that right. Overnight holds have been a crapshoot. So anyway, transports, they joined the party last week. We don't get much going on here, but I think, I saw some transports anyway, not this part of the transports, but I saw RCL was down a significant amount. Not that cruise lines should be rallying, but they were starting to show some pockets of strength. Anyway, same chop going on here. No matter where we look, there's that uncertainty and chop, and economy's going to open. Hey, markets rally, happy times or disappointment, and it's day to day. Oil just consolidating. Same mess. Had this poke lower, it's recovering. So nothing great going on there. There's bonds. Sideways, expectation is the Fed's going to do whatever they have to do to keep interest rates lower. And so we're not getting any great information here either. Looking what's pulled back here on a 60-minute chart is not any big deal on the daily or the weekly chart. And so maybe this eventually resolves itself to pushing higher, but as long as it stays in this range, and where's my TBT? Well, we could just look at the 10-year. I mean, as long as this stays down here or lower, the markets are going to like that. If this starts to perk to the upside, well, and then the expectation is if interest rates start to move up, like, well, what happened to the Fed? Are they sleeping on the job here? And the markets won't like that. So you better keep an eye on that. And gold, just chopping around here. A lot of sideways, markets just waiting no matter where you look. And, you know, some of these currencies aren't really doing much. I mean, I saw the yen, which looked great, like it was going to go higher. It's just falling apart here. You know, but at some support. So probably the same expectation that goes there. Silver. And the same thing, no matter where we look, you know, and, you know, as Clint said, day to day has been a crapshoot as far as overnight holds, but intraday, you know, there's been moves. And so taking advantage of those is where the action has been. And I think that's about it as far as it goes. Oh, I saw a Bitcoin. What was going on there? That's a nasty gap down with Bitcoin, which looked great, like it was going to go higher. But hey, you know, I guess it's due for a little bit of a rest. That was a heck of a move there. And I'm just looking at questions there. All right, Dan, all yours. I got the bias for today.
All right, good morning. Yeah, I think it'll be a great Condor day today, 0 DTE, if we get the juice. Let's look at opens real quick. We're trimming down on earnings season, so there's not nearly as many. We have a couple I'll go through. Open trades here, we have 5 opens in the weekly options trader. Beyond, we have a put spread, McDonald's, a Condor. Perfect pattern. Out of the money call spread, out of the money put spread. Microsoft put spread, we're in trail mode. Penn put spread under the low of that wide range bar. We're in trail mode, work, put spread. So all those are fine. Swing letter. American and Love, we have bear put debit spreads. Cowan, long stock. Crowd, a covered call, we're in trail mode. Echo Bravo, long stock. Hasbro, bear put credit spread. McDonald's, a covered put, which is short stock, short out of the money put. TMUS, covered call, we're in trail mode. Looks fantastic. Visa, we have a covered call. So long stock, short call. VXX, we bought puts on. Gapping up here a little bit with, you know, this was a play on the market either opening flat or up. And it's opening down, so this is against us a little bit. But beautiful, you know, pattern to go lower. And we used a put to limit our gap risk. Work, we're long stock. Finally, whiskey, long stock. So everything there is fine. Gappers here, Zoom. You know, we were watching this last week for a put spread, really nothing to do with it now. Jeffrey, we're long stock, and and a put spread we have. Yeah, I'll show you what we got. So that was last Friday's trade. What do we got here? REPH. I don't know if this is a Corona stock or a bio, but it's getting whacked. That's a very bearish gap under $6 here. It's too big though. You know, percent wise, it's too big, but it's ugly. This one's a very bullish gap up. 19. Wow. Wow, this is a long-term bottom, it looks like. Look at that. It's been in a trading range here for like 9-10 years, and it's gapping up. I have no idea what they do. The gap's too big to do anything today, but let's see if that can set up over the next couple days. This gapping up to 2044, it's a bullish gap, but excessive to me. CHI, you know, gapper, price void. There's been a lot of similar patterns like this where it has a price void, it's been basing, and our target's kind of the 200. And there's only one print here, so I don't know if that's real. If it is real, then that would be my target. I got no interest. Boeing, this is one of the permanent stocks I watch in one of my thumbnails. It's just in a tight trading range. But the weekly suggests, you know, after this shellacking from 350 to 80 bucks, maybe making a higher low here. You know, I don't know. I wrote in the letter again this weekend, I'm sure just scratching my head about this market strength in light of the fundamentals. I mean, do you know how many bankruptcies are coming? And these companies that they're getting funded on life support, how many of them do you think ain't coming back? It doesn't make economic sense for them to reopen. You got to be a business person. So I still think there's pain coming. That's me, but we still trade the charts. I said, if the markets break out, we'll trade bullish patterns, but I'm doing it in total disbelief. I don't get it. Oh yeah, Gustav, I read in the paper that Avianca filed bankruptcy, another airline disaster. What do you got here for me? 54, bullish gap, bullish. That, let's watch that for a 30-minute high, maybe pullback. That could be directional 30-minute high and a put spread. Yeah, our largest one. Wow. Yeah, I've flown Avianca before to Colombia. McGraw, you sent me this, Triple W. It's not bad. You know, kind of a deep pullback, but it made a higher high, higher low, and it's turning. So it's worth the watch. Oh yeah, Canada's hurting. Yeah, I mean, tell me who's not hurting. That would be a better question. Mayak 103. No, there's nothing to do with that. You can't trade things like that. Alex, right? But Alex is not an airline. Look at Save here. Spirit Airlines just looks horrible. Breakout failure. Gap down. It does have this prior low, but Disney reopened Shanghai. Was in the news. No pattern. Oh, Tesla. Let's talk about Tesla. So Musk is suing wherever his car shop is over there in California, Meta County, whatever. He's suing, saying, dude, let me open my business, and threatening to move it. Now, he is eccentric, crazy guy. I totally agree with that threat. I mean, doing business in California is not easy. I'll just leave it at that. So I love companies using the threat of moving. You're gonna bust my ASS. Hasta la vista. I will take my X thousands of jobs where I am more welcomed. And Texas is Texas is very business friendly. So is Florida. So he said he wants to go to Texas or Nevada. Okay, so anyway, let's continue here. So it's a bearish gap. It's a bearish gap trading under pre-market lows. You know, maybe it sets up as a condor. I'm not quite sure what to do with it right now. New Jersey's too expensive though. I would definitely go to a state that is business friendly and doesn't have income taxes. And that's why Florida, Texas are always at the top of the list. Yeah, gang, Greg and I worked in California for 7 years, and yeah, their regulations are horrible. ON 1585, it's a bearish gap down. I don't know what to do with it though. Damien, yeah, I would never open a business in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Not me. This one's in a coma, Nog, no interest. Tilius, it's earnings, but beat up little retailer. CHH, Choice Hotel. Did I lose my pre-market? No. So these things just don't have any volume. Like Choice Hotel, another beat up sector. Jake, I'm in South Florida. I'm in Broward County. Greg is in Dade County. ZBH. This looks great for a put. This looks great for a put spread. 10-15 minute high. McGraw, are you listening? Fantastic pattern. It's got, it's a base. It's relative strength by gapping up a little bit in a weak market. Jake, PKG. There's no pattern. It had that nice bar Friday, but it's in a trading range. I don't know what to do with that. SPG, this is Simon Property. This is, they run malls. Now tell me, who would like to invest in a mall these days? And there's so many industries that are going to be changed forever. Salt, I see nothing. There's ON, we looked at, OAS. You're a dead animal. Go, dead animal. Bottoming